Hello and welcome to ENCY Tutorials. In this tutorial, we will be learning how to build a tools list for the project that will be for this basic course. The first thing we need to do is go into the Machining tab. The icon for the tools is this icon right here. This opens up a lot of pre-loaded tooling. You can have an inch value toolkit, a metric toolkit for aluminum. There's all sorts of different presets already in here, but we are going to make our own tools list. So what we want to do is come over here and click New Library. That library we are going to call Tutorial. This icon right here is how you add a tool. So each time you click it, a new tool will be entered. The default tool that pops up is a 10mm cylindrical mill. I want to keep the cylindrical mill setting, but I'm going to change it to a 75mm cylindrical mill, and I'm going to change cylindrical mill to face mill. And I'm going to give that a diameter of 75mm, a working length of 10mm, and the rest of these settings are fine. This is going to be my tool number 1, so the ID for number 1 is fine. We're going to turn on Tool ID and make that number 1. We'll look under Design. It's a right-handed tool. Under Tooling, Contact Points and things, these are some things that we may discuss a little bit later on. Holder. We can pick a graphic holder for it to show up in the Simulation tab. So we're going to click these 3 little dots here. And a good one for this is, let's see, that one should be pretty good. LD38L59. We'll select that holder. And now we go to feeds and speeds. Now you don't have to set feeds and speeds for your tool in your tools list. However, it can save you time later on as you assign the tools for the operation, if indeed you do know the speeds and feeds that you wish to use. For this tutorial, we're going to set some feeds and speeds. So for our revolutions per minute, we're going to put 2400. And for our working feed, we're going to put 1000 millimeters per minute. You can also choose the type of coolant you have if your particular CNC machine has different types of coolant. So there's our first tool. Now we want to select another tool. Our next tool is going to be a 12mm cylindrical mill. So we'll go to Geometry, and we're just going to change 10 to 12. The rest of these values will do just fine. It would be helpful if you had your actual tools made up that you were going to use for a project to measure those tools. Our tool ID will be number 2, since this is going to be our number 2 tool. We're going to pick an appropriate holder for this, which looks pretty good, this LD30L60. And our speeds and feeds, we're going to make this 6,000 RPMs with a working feed of 2500 millimeters per minute. Now we'll add our third tool. Our third tool is going to be a 12mm tool, but it's going to be a spherical mill. So we're going to put in here 12mm, and I'm going to put ball and mill. The diameter is going to be 12. The rest of these values are fine. It is our number 3 tool, And our holder should be pretty much the same as the other holder. And our speeds and feeds will be as such: 6,000 RPMs and 1,250 millimeters per minute. Now let's make our tool number 4. Tool number 4 is going to be a 12 millimeter spot chamfer. So we're going to put that in: 12 millimeter spot slash chamfer. And we are going to pick engraver, give it a 12 millimeter diameter. And you can see how ENCY shows you the actual geometry. I'm going to make the angle 45 degrees and the end diameter 0. We're going to be using this to spot drill holes and also to put a chamfer on the part. It is going to be our tool 4. We can pick an appropriate holder and set our speeds and feeds as such: 6,000 RPMs and a working feed of 400 millimeters per minute. Now for our tool number 5. Tool number 5 is going to be a drill, 10 millimeter drill. All this looks great. We're going to put a 120 degree angle on the tip of that drill. It is our tool number 5. We can find a good holder for it. And the speeds and feeds will be 6,000 RPMs and a working feed of 300 millimeters per minute. Now, of course, you will pick appropriate feeds and speeds for whatever actual material that you are cutting when you are making real projects. But for the meantime, we're picking some numbers that are fairly appropriate for a easy to cut material. Let's make our tool number 6. That tool is going to also be a drill, but it is going to be a 6 millimeter drill. Another 120 degree angle on the point. It is our 6th tool. We will assign a holder for that tool and assign 6,000 RPMs and 200 millimeters per minute. Our last tool for this project is going to be a key seat cutter. It is going to be 40 millimeters in diameter by 4 millimeters wide. We will call it a key seat. We're going to keep the cylindrical mill here, and we're going to change the diameter to 40 millimeters and the length, the working length, to 4. The shoulder length will be 0, and the shank diameter will be 10 millimeters. This creates a key seat cutter shape. Let's pick a holder. And this key seat cutter is going to go 2,500 RPMs and 500 millimeters per minute. So that creates all 7 tools that we will be needing for this project. You can organize them in different fashions. this particular icon will tell you the cut data, which tells you the RPMs and the millimeters per minute. This one right here will tell you the actual tool geometry. If you pick tool ID, tool number, different things will arrange the tools in a different way. So now, when we make different operations, we can pick our tutorial tool library to be the main tool library. I hope that this tutorial was helpful. Our next tutorial will be going through importing and setting up a model and stock for milling. Thank you.